Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now what we have here is a gold graphics card that certainly hasn't always been this way, and it definitely didn't receive a professional paint job. That said, my opinion is divided. Part of me thinks it looks tacky and the other part can't help but wonder why there aren't more gold GPUs on the market. Little did I know at the time of filming this footage that it wasn't the first time this Nvidia card had been in my garden. At least I think so. Remember a few videos ago where we took a look at this pre-built system? Well, I ended up selling the CPU and other parts separately. The processor went on eBay, but the GPU, well, that got sold locally. I didn't charge much. I mean, it's no longer supported with game-ready drivers, and it suffers in the same way as other DX11 only cards, in that not all games will start. I let it go for about £20 and never gave it a chance to prove itself capable in a modern benchmarking video with a newer and better CPU. Fast forward a week or so, and while looking through the local free ads, this popped up, described only as an untested Nvidia video card. I bought it for £40 thinking it would make for an interesting video, and considering it was a blower style design of which I am fond, even if it was broken, I could add it to my collection. At first there was no display, and then there was this display. I had to use a DVI cable to get any picture out of this thing as it was, so I'm pretty sure some gold paint must have got into the HDMI port, rendering it well and truly broken. I still can't be 100% certain because the serial number sticker has been removed, but I think this is the very same GTX 660 Ti I sold not long ago, only now with a broken display output connector and a fresh, albeit rough, coat of paint. It was a few miles away from me, and there aren't even any identical models on eBay nationwide, so this has to be it. In a way, I'm glad it's found its way back to me, even if I paid double what it sold for, because now I can give it a proper send-off and benchmark test with a modern processor that will let it reach its full potential, even if I know already that I can't recommend it. Cyberpunk 2077 with FSR, which has turned out to be a game changer for this title, runs at nearly 40 FPS on average. This will drop lower in busier parts of the city because this is a 2GB graphics card after all. That said, performance holds up better than expected considering driver support outside of security updates stopped a while ago. Fortnite has no problems even at native 1080p. Low settings with epic view distance enabled and high anti-aliasing means a solid plus 100 FPS experience here. I'll probably stick to low with Fortnite from now on when it comes to benchmarking videos because the more frames the better in a competitive title like this. Despite paying £40 for this card, it seems as though 660 Ti's still sell for more than this, so I sort of unknowingly ripped myself off, but I didn't overpay, although the card is a little bit broken. Still, it's nice to know that for £40 we get a GPU capable of playing Fortnite, so it really wasn't a bad investment, I guess. I'm just trying to make myself feel better about buying the same card back. Warzone at 1080p with a minimum 66% res scale performed okay. I chose to drop the render res instead of native res here, like I always tend to do if there's an option for it, but either way performance certainly won't be solid or consistent across the different maps and game modes. It's still not a terrible experience though. Red Dead Redemption 2 is best suited to low with 75% render scale. TAA is set to medium here because otherwise the jagged edges are very noticeable. If you don't mind them, you could turn this option off, but I prefer to keep it enabled just to smooth things out. The game will of course run at its best when we're exploring outside of busy towns and settlements, but it still sticks above 30 most of the time. Finally, the very well optimised Forza Horizon 5 is playable at 1080p low with FXAA. Performance was actually quite surprising, even if it was far from perfect. There are dynamic scaling options available and even a lower preset here, but I don't think it makes much sense trying to target 60 FPS with a card like this and ending up with a horrifically pixelated or smudgy mess. The 660 Ti is better suited to 30. I guess the reseller proved that you certainly can't polish a turd, but you can paint it a pretty colour, and some idiot, in this case me, will buy it. Nah, that's unfair. The 660 Ti is a legend. It was once a go-to choice for those who didn't want to spend too much, but also wanted to experience games with decent settings and frame rates. I remember there was a period a few years ago when it also seemed to be listed as the minimum requirement for loads of games. It truly is an awesome GPU that will be remembered fondly, I'm sure, but it's just difficult to recommend in 2022. That said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, leave a dislike if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hopefully I'll see all of you in the next one.